Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, born October 7, 1952, is a Russian politician who is the current president of the Russian Federation, holding the office since May 7, 2012. He was prime minister from 1999 to 2000, president from 2000 to 2008, and again prime minister from 2008 to 2012. During his second term as prime minister, he was the chairman of the United Russia Party, the ruling party. Born in St. Petersburg, Putin studied German at St. Petersburg High School 281, and speaks fluent German. He then studied law at the St. Petersburg State University, graduating in 1975. Putin was a KGB foreign intelligence officer for 16 years, rising to the rank of lieutenant colonel before retiring in 1991 to enter politics in St. Petersburg. He moved to Moscow in 1996 and joined President Boris Yeltsin's administration, rising quickly through the ranks and becoming acting president on December 31, 1999, when Yeltsin resigned. Putin won the subsequent 2000 presidential election by a 53% to 30% margin, thus avoiding a runoff with his Communist Party opponent, Gennady Zyuganov. He was re-elected president in 2004 with 72% of the vote. During Putin's first presidency, the Russian economy grew for 8 straight years, and GDP measured in purchasing power increased by 72%. The growth was a result of the 2000s commodities boom, high oil prices, and prudent economic and fiscal policies. Because of constitutionally mandated term limits, Putin was ineligible to run for a third consecutive presidential term in 2008. The 2008 presidential election was won by Dmitry Medvedev, who appointed Putin prime minister, beginning a period of so-called tan-democracy in September 2011. After presidential terms were extended from 4 to 6 years, Putin announced he would seek a third term as president. He won the March 2012 presidential election with 64% of the vote, a result which aligned with pre-election polling. Falling oil prices coupled with international sanctions imposed at the beginning of 2014 after Russia's annexation of Crimea and military intervention in eastern Ukraine led to GDP shrinking by 3.7% in 2015. Putin has enjoyed very high domestic approval ratings during his career, and has received extensive international attention as one of the world's most powerful leaders. In 2007, he was the Time Person of the Year. In 2015, he was number 1 on the Time's Most Influential People list. In 2013, 2014, and 2015, he was ranked first on the Forbes list of the world's most powerful people. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin was born on October 7, 1952 in St. Petersburg, Russia, the youngest of 3 children of Vladimir Spyridоновich Putin, 1911-1999, and Maria Ivanovna Putina, née Shalamova, 1911-1998. He had 2 brothers, Victor and Albert, born in the mid-1930s. Albert died in infancy and Victor died of diphtheria during the siege of Leningrad. Putin's mother was a factory worker and his father was a conscript in the Soviet Navy, serving in the submarine fleet in the early 1930s. Early in World War II, his father served in the destruction battalion of the NKVD. Later, he was transferred to the regular army and was severely wounded in 1942. On September 1, 1960, Putin started at school No. 193 at Baskov Lane near his home. He was one of a few in the class of approximately 45 pupils who was not yet a member of the Young Pioneer organization. At age 12, he began to practice Sambo and Judo. He wished to emulate the intelligence officers portrayed in Soviet cinema. Putin studied German at St. Petersburg High School 281, and speaks German fluently. Putin studied law at the St. Petersburg State University in 1970 and graduated in 1975. His thesis was on the most favored nation trading principle in international law. While there, he was required to join the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, and remained a member until December 1991. Putin met Anatoly Sobchak, an assistant professor who taught business law, Hozyaistvennoy and was influential in Putin's career. KGB career. Putin in KGB uniform c. 1980. In 1975, Putin joined the KGB, and trained at the 401st KGB school in Okita, St. Petersburg. After training, he worked in the 2nd Chief Directorate, Counterintelligence, before he was transferred to the 1st Chief Directorate, where he monitored foreigners and consular officials in St. Petersburg. From 1985 to 1990, he served in Dresden, East Germany, using a cover identity as a translator. According to Putin's official biography, during the fall of the Berlin Wall that began on November 9, 1989, he burned KGB files to prevent demonstrators from obtaining them. After the collapse of the communist East German government, Putin returned to St. Petersburg, where in June 1991, he worked with the International Affairs section of St. Petersburg State University, reporting to Vice-Rector Yuri Malkhanov. There, he looked for new KGB recruits, watched the student body, and renewed his friendship with his former professor, Anatoly Sobchak, the mayor of St. Petersburg. Putin resigned with the rank of lieutenant colonel on August 20, 1991, on the second day of 1991 Soviet coup d'état attempt against Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev. Putin said, "As soon as the coup began, I immediately decided which side I was on," although he also noted that the choice was hard because he had spent the best part of his life with the organs. In 1999, Putin described communism as a blind alley, far away from the mainstream of civilization.